Hey guys, Ryan here for Bender Wins. Hope everyone's doing well today. Here with your daily free picks. All right, guys. So back with another play. I hope you guys had a fantastic weekend. We got a pretty busy day across the board. We got NHL, 7 Major League Baseball plays, 1 NBA, and we got 4 player props. Of those 4 player props, 3 of which are NBA, and 1 is Major League Baseball. So very busy day across the board. As I mentioned, I have a baseball play for you guys. Going to do a breakdown. Before I get into that, there's something I want to talk about, just a little bit behind some of the psychology of sports betting and, bankroll management, controlling emotion, that kind of stuff. Okay, so we see a lot of professional athletes that are also sports bettors, right? And I think, maybe the two kind of go hand in hand. You're around the sport. You think probably, when you're playing, well, man, I knew that was going to happen, right? But you couldn't really bet on it. So then you see these guys retire and they become sports bettors, and pretty much unilaterally across the board, you would think, hey, these guys got, inside information. They know what's going on, right? They played the game. They understand it, right? They should be really good. Well, they're not. They're not. And why is that? Okay. So I think for one of the main reasons, it's not that, these guys aren't good at picking winners, but you're always hearing about, so-and-so just declared bankruptcy. And this guy's, $2 million in debt at Caesar's Palace. And this guy is that, and so on and so forth. Right. And Michael Jordan, these guys, they're just not great gamblers. Right. And is it that, they're just, they just can't pick winners to save their life? No, I mean, I'm sure a lot of these guys can pick winners, right? We've seen professional athletes retire and say, hey, I know this sport. I'm going to start giving out plays. And they've crashed and burned like dramatically, right? What it comes down to, and ultimately, in my opinion, why? Because like for me playing hockey, when I was playing very competitive hockey, to then go to sports betting are very, very different traits. They're completely different traits, and they're counterintuitive, okay? So I'll give you a prime example, all right? You're playing in a hockey game. You got a 2-1 lead going into last minute, big game, and you blow it, okay? You give up that late goal, and then, boom, overtime, you lose, and you just lost, okay? In hockey, what you want to do is you want to bottle that emotion. You want to take what you're feeling inside, the anger, the frustration, the disappointment. You want to take that and you want to remember it going into the next game. Okay, you want to never allow that to happen again. And next game, you're going to come out on so much emotion. Okay, you're going to play your ass off. You're going to, give it that extra 3% that your body will allow you to do if you really demand it. And you're going to go, right? And that is what professional athletes are about, okay? It's finding that way to, springboard yourself to the next level. And a lot of times, look, you get, why do teams perform better at home? Is it they're more comfortable? No, it's like humans are all about emotion, all right? And that home crowd cheering you on and that energy, it's that emotion. And you want that high. You want to go out there and have that euphoric feeling that you're invincible and like no one's going to stop you and you're going to score a bunch of goals, right? In sports betting, okay, now these guys are retired from playing hockey. Okay, you lose a bet, you get amped up, you're competitive, you want it back, right? It's the worst thing you could do in sports betting. In sports betting, you have to slow it back down. And that is what is challenging for professional athletes. It was challenging for me when I started sports betting, okay? I told you guys, when I first started, like before I became professional, I blew up so many bankrolls. I made all the classic mistakes that you could make in sports betting and, promised myself, hey, I won't ever do that again, right? And then 3 weeks later, boom, there goes my bankroll, right? It was that competitive nature, that need to get it back now. It's like, I hold destiny in my hands. I can get this back right now. That comes from a competitive nature, all right? That is counterproductive in sports betting. Took me a long time to suppress that, right? And to say, okay, that is not what we're going to do. And fortunately, I made that promise to myself that I would never deviate from bankroll management again, and I didn't. So, it's difficult, I think, for professional athletes to wrap their minds around that, and especially, these guys that compete for years and years and years at top level, right? You cannot be a professional athlete and also be, passive. The two don't go together. You can't be a hockey player, a professional hockey player, and just think, oh, well, whatever's going to happen happens. It doesn't work that way. I mean, you have to go out there like it's fucking war, right? And it doesn't always translate well into professional sports betting. So, I guess today's homework, probably a lot of you guys haven't had homework for a while. Today's homework would be to ask yourself, does that apply to you? Are you super competitive? Are you the type that, if you lose, you just have to get it back. You have to find, because it's counterproductive to what we're trying to accomplish. And if you can the more you understand about yourself and the psychology of you, not just sports betting, but you, the better off prepared you're going to be to win long term. So I think, we not only have to study the lines and find value and beat closing lines, but we also have to study ourselves in a way and understand, is there certain subtle changes I have to make in myself? And there was, for me, I was, as a sports bettor, a very flawed human being when I first started sports betting. I've been able to, look at myself and make these changes over the years where, every once in a while, the competitive nature jumps up in me and we lose a big bet and I say, okay, what else is out there? But I never bet it anymore. I used to. And I always knew what the result was going to be at the end of it. Adios to my bankroll. I think every sports bettor can relate to that. You have sports bettors that have blown their bankrolls up and you got liars. That's pretty much it, right? I mean, I think everyone at one point in their time has, disintegrated a bankroll. If you haven't, then hey, you're the man, right? All right, let's talk about what we got going on today, guys. We're going to take a play, 1 unit play, New York Mets, St. Louis, under 7, minus 122. I am also going to take just a little bit of my bet, 10%. You can go up to 15%. I went 10%. There could be arguments for 15% here. If your book allows you, to move lines, or, take alternate lines, I sprinkled 10% of my bet under 5.5 plus 154. Okay, so under 5.5 plus 154. I think there's still really good value there. My projection for this game, okay, is 5.8 to 6.1 runs. Okay, 5.8 to 6.1 runs. So, you're saying, hey, well, look, Bender, you're saying, there's the odds are there's going to be 6 runs in this game, right? I mean, hey, if it goes 3-3, then, we're even only going to get a push on our, or worse, a push on our regular bet. So what? Because it comes down to implied probability. We are getting plus 154. So plus 154, that gives us really good value at 5.8 to 6.1 runs in this game. So I'm going to do a little bit of a sprinkle there, but the main bet, the bulk of the action, under 7, minus 122. It's a contrarian play, okay? Excellent conditions here for an under game as well. Expect 18% less home runs versus normal, 7% less extra bases hit, and 12% less runs versus normal conditions in the ballpark. Plus, I love the pitching matchup. I think this is going to be a pretty low scoring game. Bulk of the action under 7, but I want those, I want the sprinkles in there for the, the 2-1, the 3-1, the 3-2 type games at plus 154. But, I went 10, I say a maximum 15%, but I think 10% is a good comfortable number. That's it. All right, guys. So again, sports betting is about longevity. Okay. It's about winning. It's about identifying value, and it's about being able to do it long term. Okay. You can go on a heater. You can win a bunch of games, put a bunch of money in your pocket. Can you do it for the next 12 months? Can you do it for the next 12 years? That's the question, right? Because to be a professional sports bettor, it's not about winning this month, okay? It's what these people don't understand that are new to this game, that they do not understand when they start giving out, 5 and 10 unit plays. They just don't understand. You can get away with that, probably for a while. Sooner or later, you won't get away with it. And your bankroll's adios, right? So basically, pardon me, you have to ask yourself, do I have the tools to win long term? And if you don't, we have to find a way to get them, okay? Change your way of thinking, change your way of betting, and the money will start to come. All right, guys, that's it for us today. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And as always, guys, have a very lucky day, and bye for now.